This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. It's looking good that so Brian Steele might become Diddy's new lawyer. He's filed all the paperwork and they just got to accept it. And I don't see why they wouldn't accept it. Brian Steele would only take this case if he knew that there was enough flaws in the case where he could get Diddy a better plea deal, because that's what's probably going to end up happening, because Diddy is guilty of certain things, but adding in a RICO with one person, they're going to get rid of that 100%, right? He's already beat the RICO, certain charges of the RICO, I think in the civil case. It's complicated because he has so many cases going on, but the feds, he's going to beat all that for sure. But he's going to be guilty of some things. Diddy, let's see. Diddy, federal charges. I think there's going to be some that stick that are related to anything related to Cassie will stick. I mean, she's going to sway the jury one way, and it's probably going to be like where it's going to get to a point. Oh, they delayed the trafficking trial by 2 months. Oh, he requested a delay so Brian Steele can prepare. So they just requested a 2-month delay in the sex trafficking trial. It's going to be hard to prove sex trafficking, though, I think. You know, like, they're going to be able to probably get it to a point where there's doubt, and then they'll accept some type of plea deal. But, like, it's still a gamble. You know? It's still a big gamble. Because, like, what if they don't cave, you know? And then what if the jury comes back and they're like, you know what? Send this piece of garbage to jail, you know? Let's see. Diddy, love defendant, engaged in persistent, persuasive pattern abuse towards women and individuals. The abuse was at times verbal and emotional, blah, 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 blah. Physical abuse. They'll be guilty of this stuff for sure. He'll be guilty of this stuff for sure. Because, like, he's going to have employees and witnesses coming forward that he abused them. He's going to have Cassie. Some of these employees will, in the paperwork, they're going to say that they had certain employees carry out and facilitate cover-up abuse. And there's going to be some people saying that he flew girls in and was sex trafficking, because that is considered sex trafficking now, right? Flying a girl in. They're going to have witnesses talking about engaging in prostitution, narcotics, kidnapping. The arson's a problem because he's going to have Kid Cudi and Cassie talk about that. The bribery, there's tons of that and tons of witnesses for that. So he's guilty of some things. And I think he's going to get like a plea deal, kind of like Young Thug, where it's like, you know, you got 5 years, you got to do this. You got to be good. He'll probably be at house arrest, I would say, you know. And I think that Brian Steele would probably not be able to get him bail. They do not want to let this guy out, just like they didn't want to let Young Thug have bail. So, in the racketeering, I just don't see that. The conspiracy, like, it's a one-person thing. From about 2008 through the filing of this indictment, Sean Combs, the defendant, and others, known and unknown, being persons employed and associated with Combs Enterprises, describe paragraphs 6 through 12 in the indictment, engaged in activities of which affected interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly conspired, confederated, and agreed together with each other to violate the racketeering laws of the United States. So watch. Let's see, watch this. I'll take this document and I will put it in here and we'll see. I think he'll be able to beat the racketeering. It's just weak. It's weak. I just don't see it sticking. Now, please make a list of Diddy charges. Okay. Before we get to that, let's talk about Big Meech and Little Meech. Okay. And then I'll go through the charges I think that'll get dropped. Big Meech and Little Meech are taking a new photo shoot. Big Meech is looking healthier. But these two were really like standing by each other. They're willing, they're throwing everything away with 50. So there's no opportunity at the moment. I don't see any opportunity coming down the pipeline. 50 Cent doesn't look so, it looks a little shaky because even though he has a lot of things going on, he's out here dissing Courtney Kemp's new series, which doesn't look too good because he wants to make sure he's not affiliated with that in the public because he doesn't believe in it. But usually you would just wish someone well on their new journey away from you and not throw them under the bus, like he threw her under the bus like, oh, this is trash, because they tried to allude it to like a Power reboot when it's not, because it only has a minor character that was in Power, like a federal character in it, and he was kind of like something at the end of Power. He was reoccurring, but he just wasn't like a huge role. He was like a minor role, a reoccurring minor role. BMF is going to end after this season, unless 50 Cent continues with Terry, which is possible. Now, Big Meech is getting desperate for cash. CEO Jizzle, who we know is affiliated with Dolph. I think he's like a cousin or something like that. Remember, he got shot at the Little Baby concert. The Little Baby concert, some CMG members and him got into it. I think they took his chain, or they took a chain, something like that. And it was like 30 minutes into the show with Little Baby, Dolph's cousin was wounded during the incident and hospitalized. And people were supposed to get their money back from the show because of the disturbance, because it ended the show. But yeah, there was some type of shooting inside of the venue, which is crazy because it was in the FedEx Forum. Now, CEO Jizzle exposed a DM with Big Meech. It says, "This thing go." It's like a song. "You spitting real stuff. Got it, my brother. Let's get some business in. Send a budget, mob. I ain't tripping too much. Ain't about no money. What can you do? Let's lock in. You want to do the video, intro, or both?" Like he's trying to act like he don't need no money, but he's talking about money, right? It's like, seems like Big Meech is trying to, it's crazy, man. You would have thought Big Meech would have came home and would have been like he was coming home like that. 50 Cent was going to prop him up and it was going to be good, right? And then he went against 50 Cent for some reason, thought Rick Ross and Mayweather had his back. They went ghost town on him, man. Yeah, Mayweather might pick up his son every once in a while and treat him to a dinner and a game. That's about it. Mayweather's not about to pay their bills and everything. Mayweather is getting exposed for his real estate thing being a sham. It's just not what he's saying it is. It's something different. It's a REIT. He's part of an investment. And that's it, with a bunch of other people. Okay, so the counts that will probably be dropped with Diddy. Let's get back to this. So he has the sex trafficking by force, fraud, and coercion. I think some of that will stick, right? That's count 2. The count 1 of racketeering conspiracy, multiple acts involving kidnapping. It's going to be hard to prove the arson thing because he would have been arrested for arson, but they will testify to that. But Kid Cudi would have had to investigated, and Diddy would have been charged, right? Multiple acts involving bribery. That's another thing that's kind of hard to prove, right? Witness tampering. Forced labor will stick because of people that have worked for him. Witness tampering? There was some calls that were recorded. I don't know. Sex trafficking is like, that's going to be hard. Okay. Multiple acts of transportation and indictment of prostitution. If you get some of those people he hired to come forward, they probably will put that in the jury's mind. And then there's multiple narcotic. But how is this a RICO? Like by one person. A RICO involves him overseeing a bunch of people that are involved in it, and only he's charged with it. So that's why, like, he'll probably get charged individually for some of these things, but not as a RICO. You know, that's like, nah. And count 3 is transportation to engage in prostitution. Yeah. I could see them proving that. So I would say some of this stuff is going to stick, and he's going to have to face the music on it. He'll have a year in soon, right? So we'll see how it shakes out. This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. I'll check you guys in the next one. Peace.